Love this guy. I have always loved when he's taken the time to call on the program, which he has kindly done so now here in the middle of May. Now back in the mix in the state of Louisiana with the New Orleans Saints. Our friend on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line, Tyrann Mathieu. How you doing, Tyrann?
Rich, I'm doing good, man. Always good to talk to you.
Always great to talk to you. You were getting me a little nervous sitting out all that crazy March madness, you know?
Yeah, man.
Through the draft and everything, you were getting me concerned, Tyrann. What were you up to with that?
Actually, man, I was just trying to spend as much time, with the family, as possible, man. Obviously, heading into free agency, it definitely wasn't the rollout that I was expecting. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but I think nevertheless, it kind of worked itself out, and I'm really happy, with where I ended up.
No question, it's how you finish, not how you start. But no. So that wasn't. So it wasn't intentional to sit for a couple of weeks and sift through offers or get the right one, or maybe it was not intentional for you.
Well, I think it was, especially initially, like I said, once I realized that. I wasn't necessarily kind of, gaining the interest of, as many teams as I thought I would have. So, kind of after that kind of reality check, I just told myself, man, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to spend as much time with family as I can. And, however it plays out, however it works out, I was willing to kind of just, accept it.
And before we move on to the here and now, was there ever a chance of you going back to the Chiefs in any way, shape, or form, Tyrann?
I mean, for me, I kind of always held out hope, and, that's just, me coming from a place that, we won a lot of games, the last 3 years. And, obviously I felt like I was a productive player, really played some of my best ball, really in those 3 years. And, so yeah, I was hoping, that I would, possibly come back, but, it's kind of like a two-way street, you know what I mean? And so, but like I said, all in all, man, I think it worked itself out. And, I think the things that I've accomplished with the Chiefs, I think those things that, people can never take away. So, just really happy, to have been a part, of really all three of those teams. I think all three of those teams, really special, in their own right.
And then while we're lingering a little bit more in the past, were you surprised that Tyreek Hill got traded, that he's no longer with the Chiefs, Tyrann? Did that shock you as much as the rest of the free football world, or no?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't, as surprised, as shocked. I've seen a lot in this business, and, I think I'm one of those people that, I kind of understand what's going on, on a business side as well, not just, on field and everything. And I think just with the wide receiver market and, how everything is kind of playing out, I can see that happening, a lot more, in the future, where, here you have a guy that, you think is irreplaceable, but, I think for the right, amount of money, you can move on from anybody.
Tyrann Mathieu here on the Rich Eisen Show. And then in terms of New Orleans, did you have to sweat it out in any way, shape, or form on the draft to see if they were going to choose anybody at your position? Or were you given any assurances before a draft, anything like that?
Oh no, I wasn't, I wasn't worried about that, man. I remember I had committed, almost, 11, 12 years ago, I committed to LSU, right, Rich?
Right.
And I didn't look at the depth chart one time. I was just happy that LSU offered me a scholarship. And, I remember my first day on campus, I looked at the depth chart and I'm like, wait, hold up. We got 6 5-star cornerbacks, so I was never, one to kind of shy away from competition. I always invite that. I think at the end of the day, it makes everybody better. But, no, I definitely wasn't sweating that at all, no.
3-time All-Pro safety Tyrann Mathieu, now at the New Orleans Saints here on the Rich Eisen Show. So if I went back in time, back to that kid who went to LSU, the old Honey Badger, and if I went back to the kid at St. Augustine High School and said, you're going to put on the fleur-de-lis of the Saints one day, what would that kid have said, Tyrann?
I probably, wouldn't have believed you, man. It's such a big dream. And I think, countless numbers of kids, I think they dream that dream, to be able to represent their family and, to represent the state that they come from, the city that they come from, their culture. I think every kid dreams that. Me, in a million years, I didn't think that was possible. But, I think I've been on this journey, for a reason, Rich, the last 10 years, and just all the different experiences I've had and, the places I've gone, the things I've done, the things I fell short, in doing. I think all these things have, kind of, geared me up and prepared me, for this moment. And, I know a lot of people are happy for me, but, this is a big moment. This is a big challenge, going back home, trying to, play some of my best ball and, while also trying to, impact the community, in the right way. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a lot, but, I think everything I've kind of been through have, really helped, prepare me for this. So I'm more than grateful, for the opportunity.
What's it going to be like, you in that tunnel in the Superdome before your first game? Obviously, you're going to find out later today with the schedule what game that's going to be. What do you think your emotions are going to be like when you're in that Superdome tunnel, Tyrann Mathieu?
I mean, it's going to be emotional, man. Obviously, this is a team and a program that really I've watched, my whole life growing up. And, I can even go back to, Hurricane Katrina, right? And, when the Saints came back, I believe they were playing against the Falcons, and, I mean, it was just so electric, in the building, and I remember Gleason blocking the punt. And, I just remember, how proud our community was, and, so I'm looking forward to being, a reflection of that, trying to, play as hard as I can and, so I can make that city, as proud as I can make it.
Were you were in the building that night, Tyrann? Did you say that?
No, I wasn't. I was watching on TV. Yeah,
I was in the building that night, sitting next to Marshall Faulk of all people, Mr. New Orleans, right? And
right.
I remember that night like it was yesterday. I'm getting goosebumps even recalling it, Tyrann, where Vic fumbled out of bounds in that first series, and when the ball was initially on the ground, and the shrieks and the excitement and the yells and the cheers that I heard was the loudest I've ever heard. And I'm like, it can't get any, that's the loudest I've ever heard a building in my entire life. And then the ball rolled out of bounds. Yeah. And then I thought, like, nothing will ever get louder in the history of the Superdome. And I made a mental note to say, remember that moment, because that was incredible. And we'll see how things play out from here on out. And then I think it was either the next snap or two snaps later, and Steve Gleason blocked that punt. And I didn't think a building could be louder, and then that happened. That was insane, Tyrann.
Absolutely, man. That's Saints fans for you, man. Like I said, just happy to go back to a city that really celebrates, its people, its culture, its sports. And so, more than anything in this business, Rich, you're just trying to take the field and win. Not just for yourself and your teammates, but for the fans too. So, just looking forward, man, to hopefully, bringing those kind of moments and memories, back to the Bayou.
Tyrann Mathieu here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's get to the community portion of this conversation, because you're so terrific at that. And we've had many conversations about how you've always maintained a presence in Louisiana, in this town, and now your presence is there too. What plans might you have? What are you thinking about on advancing the ball on that front, Tyrann Mathieu?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Obviously, me and my foundation, Tyrann Mathieu Foundation, really have spent the last, 6-7 years just, doing as much as we can, trying to be a resource, to all the kids. And, I'm really hoping and looking forward to really, taking the next step, right, Rich? And, hopefully, one of my biggest dreams is to hopefully, bring a school, to New Orleans, a school of second chance, a school that teaches kids, to hope and just how to, the ability to use certain tools to, in the real world. So I think for me and my foundation, that's the next big dream, for us, is to hopefully, bring a school there that can really impact the kids and really shape and mold them, in the right way. So I think that's the next, big dream, but, I think from a day-to-day, standpoint, month to month, we're still going to keep up, with all our mentorship programs. We're still going to be an impact, for families, during the holiday season. And, obviously when kids get back to school. I'm also looking forward to, bringing my camp back, to Louisiana this year. So kids have been really, looking forward to that. So, I mean, it's a lot, on the plate right now, a lot that we're looking forward to. And just more so happy, man, to get back to Louisiana and partner, with some great people so we can, really build a good impact going forward.
Might we see you in Baton Rouge more, Tyrann?
I think it's only right, man. I spent as much time as I can, in Baton Rouge, really this past off season, and obviously Coach House, he's a defensive coordinator over there now, and me and him, go back to Kansas City together, and he's such a great coach, so he's such a good dude to be around as well. So, but yeah, man, it's always good to get back to Baton Rouge, and I'm hoping that I can talk to the team more and be around those guys more because there's so much talent. In that Tigers, building right now, too, that those guys just have to tap into,
Can you help Brian Kelly with his dance moves a little bit, Tyrann? Can you do everybody a favor on that front?
Hey, I would say this, Rich. BK is cooler than people give him credit for, man.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a cool dude, man. He's definitely a bright mind. He's smart. But yeah, man, I'm not a great dancer either, Rich.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, but, that's why I never gritty or nothing like that, man. Justin Jefferson and all those young boys, man, let them, get their dance on.
Yeah, I guess you have to know your limits, right? Obviously.
Yeah, you do. You got to know who you are.
Well,
absolutely.
Well, I think, so then can you help Brian Kelly understand his limits then? Can you do
Absolutely.
Just help a guy out, But all right, very good. So what do you? Obviously, you've been in this league for quite some time, and your window is still open, and you've now walked into it through a time machine back into New Orleans, your hometown. What do you think about the chances to win a championship there? New coach, obviously. Jameis is going to be coming back from a knee injury, and then you've got Olave just joined the team to go with another Ohio State top-notch receiver, one would say for sure, and Michael Thomas coming back, Kamara. What do you think, Tyrann?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't think I would have, really, came to the Saints, if I didn't think that these guys, could win a championship. And, obviously I believe in, Coach Allen and everything that, that he's building and building off of, what I mean, as far as, Sean Payton and those kind of things. And, it's a real opportunity to really play, with the top 5 defense, and I think anytime you have a defense, that can play, to that standard, I think you always give your team a chance to win. Obviously I think, with, Michael Thomas coming back and obviously Kamara, and Winston, I think those guys got the ability, on the other side of the ball to score a lot of points and to be productive. So, it's a long season, Rich, and, I think the most important thing right now is just, trying to build that chemistry, trying to build that bond, trying to put in as much work as we can, so that when we do get to the fall, we plan for each other, and playing off of each other, well. So it's a lot of work that we got to put in, but, I believe in the guys that, are in the building right now for sure.
And you got 2 shots to send Brady into the Fox television booth faster than his intention, maybe, right? You got that going on, right?
I just talked to Brady like 3 days ago. Just congratulating him, and everything. And, he's such a good dude. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
So you just hit TB12 on his hip and just say, hey, congrats.
Yeah. Nah, man, he always reaches out to me, and, I try my best to, always reach out to him. I think, football aside, this is a good dude, and, this is a guy that, has a lot to offer. You know what I mean? As far as just teaching you, about life off the field, whether it be business, whether it be taking care of your body. He's just a great resource to have. And, I'm more so impressed that guys like him take the time to kind of entertain little guys like me, because, God knows he doesn't have to, entertain anybody, but for him to kind of take his time, out his day, to just always reach out, always send a congratulations or always be, somebody of great support. I think that says a lot about his character. But,
how about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Man, he's a good dude.
How about that? So what do you mean? Like he gives you tips or you pick his brain on maintaining your body or anything
absolutely.
like that?
Well, I think he's just easy to approach. He's easy to talk to, and I think he offers you that. I think he offers you that ability to kind of ask him anything and ask him whatever. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, we've always been competitive, against each other on the field. Even going back to, when I was in Houston, and he was in New England. So me and him go way back, man. It's always fun competing against him. But, like I said, off the field, man, if you got anything to ask him about anything, man, he's always, he usually gets back to you for sure.
He's available and he'll do that. And he's not trying to soften you up to make sure you don't jump that route on him or anything like that.
Oh, no, he probably is, but, you can't talk that, though,
Tyrann, always great chatting with you. Always great chatting with you. Thanks for the time.
Yes, sir,
you be well.
Absolutely.
Enjoy time with your family a little bit more. And then if you're in Los Angeles at any point, please let me know. And I'd love to have you here. I'd love to chat with you anytime.
Oh, yeah, for sure, my guy. Appreciate you,
that's
man.
That's the way we Michigan men are. Just you call me too. I can give you whatever information you need. Okay? That's the way we are.
For sure.
Take care of yourself, Tyrann.
Yes, sir, my guy. Thank you, man.
Right back at you. That's Tyrann Mathieu right here on the Rich Eisen Show. I follow him on Twitter. You should as well. Good people. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.